Hi, and welcome to Pilates by Kels. Today's workout is Pilates for osteoporosis. So this workout will be appropriate for those with low bone density. Please make sure that you have approval from your doctor for workout before you get started. In this workout, we'll be working all parts of the body, but we will be avoiding flexion and working on stabilizing in neutral. So if you're ready, let's get started on our backs. Let's start with feet hip distance apart and arms long by the sides, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. We're just gonna warm up the body with some arm work, stabilizing in neutral from the core. So neutral pelvis and spine, the ribs are closed and engaged, arms are long. I'm gonna start by reaching one arm back overhead, only as far as you can keep those ribs closed. So pulling down through those ribs, keeping that nice rib connection. Arms come up to meet in center, and switch. Again, the whole focus here is stabilizing that neutral pelvis and spine by working the core. And reach. Take it as slow as you need to. Exhale to reach. Inhale to come up to center. Let's bring both arms up to center. Arms reach back overhead, again, only as far as those ribs stay connected. Circle the arms down and around and back up to the sky. So we circle around, down, and up. Again, the most important thing here is that strong rib connection without losing that neutral. Let's reverse here. Those arms go down, open up, and around. Last one. Arms come up all the way down by the sides. I'm going to slowly bring one leg to tabletop. And then the other one, keeping that neutral spine. Ribs are closed, arms are down. We're gonna press one leg out, bring it back up to tabletop, and extend the opposite leg. So just a little bicycle here, keeping the chest down for this entire series. Again, we're trying to avoid flexion from that upper body. So keep that chest down, exhale, press the leg. Inhale, come up, exhale, press. Inhale back to tabletop. Now if you find yourself struggling to keep those ribs closed or struggling to keep that neutral without overarching the lumbar spine, you can bring the legs higher to the sky as you press out. Again, just take this at your own pace and go as fast or as slow as you feel comfortable. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale as you press the leg out. Inhale to come to center. Exhale, press. Inhale, center. Now let's go both legs at the same time. Both legs press and bend. Exhale, press and bend. Again, keeping those legs at a level where you can maintain that nice neutral without overarching that lumbar spine. Exhale as the legs go out. Inhale, bend the knees in. Last one here, legs come to tabletop. Just drop that right foot down. Extend the left leg up to the sky. So keeping that neutral spine here, we're going to draw just a little circle on the ceiling. Exhale to circle around, inhale in. So again, we're working stabilizing neutral. If you want to take one hand to each hip bone, just to make sure that those hips are staying really still. It's a good tactile cue for you. Pulling those ribs down. You should feel the core working here. The core is what's moving that leg. Let's reverse direction. So we go in towards the body, exhale out and away. Inhale in, exhale out and away. Now again, it's not about how big that circle is, but about really stabilizing from the core, using those core muscles to keep that pelvis stable. Last one here, back to center. Bend that knee, foot comes flat onto the mat. Let's switch sides. Right leg up to the sky. I'm going to start going away from the body and exhale in. Again, those hands are on the hips, helping you keep an eye on the stability of the hips. Option to have just a slight bend in the knee if you have tight hamstrings. Try to limit any rocking or moving in the hips, trying to stay as still as possible. And reverse. We'll go in towards the body, exhale out and around. The last one here, back to center, bend the knee, foot comes flat down onto the mat. So let's go right into our shoulder bridge. Feet are flat, knees are hip distance apart. We're going to activate the glutes and the hamstrings to lift those hips just 2 inches off of the mat, maintaining that neutral spine, and then exhale, lower down. We're going to tap the mat and exhale, lift back up. Inhale, tap the mat, exhale, lift. So you're almost doing just a little glute squeeze to lift those hips. Not a huge movement, we're not going all the way to the top, just think 2 or 3 inches off of the mat here. And exhale, lift. Arms are helping you stabilize, keeping those knees tracking over the ankles. Two more. The last one here, lower those hips down to the mat. Extend one leg up to the sky. Bring that other leg up to the sky. We're gonna hold just right onto that thigh. Give that leg 2 little tugs as the opposite leg drops down. And switch. I'm gonna have a little bend in my knees here, just because I have tighter hamstrings today. Keeping that nice, strong, neutral spine again. Scissoring the legs, feeling that core working. Ribs closing. Again, try not to overarch that lumbar spine. If you're feeling that happen, let's not drop the leg quite as far. Last one, hug those knees into the chest, and let's slowly roll over onto one side. So you're gonna have that bottom arm as your pillow. Your top arm will be on the mat in front of you, and you're in one long line from shoulder to toe. Your hips are stacked, you're pulling that bottom side up away from the mat so that the core is nice and engaged. That top leg pointing through the toes, we lift and reach away from the body just up to shoulder, just up to hip height and lower down. So just up to hip height and lower down. Think more about reaching that leg instead of lifting that leg. You can use that top arm pressing down to really stabilize the body so that the hips aren't rocking around. Just a few more here. Last one, lift and hold. Flex the foot, bring that leg forward like a pendulum, and then pull it back in line with the body. Exhale forward. Inhale, pull back. So again, trying to keep those hips really stable. That top arm is working hard as well to help stabilize you. As you pull the leg back, think about the glute and hamstring working to pull that leg back in line with the body. 2 more. That leg pulls back and hold. Point those toes. Again, draw a small circle with that leg. Forward, down, and around. Again, that circle doesn't have to be too big. Just nice, small, slow, and controlled circles. And reverse your circle, back, down, and around. Just a few more. Should feel that outer thigh working by now, and the glute. Last one, lower that leg down. Keep those legs connected as you pull those knees up towards your hips, keeping the feet together. We'll open and close our clamshell. So just that top knee opening away from the bottom knee and close. Two more. Last one, close your clamshell, and let's just go to the other side. Same setup on the other side. You're gonna have that top arm in front of you for support, and one long line from shoulder to toe. Let's take that top leg, lift it just to shoulder height, and lower down. Top leg lifts and lowers. Still pulling that bottom rib cage off the mat so that the core is engaged. Trying to keep those hips nice and steady. Lift that leg and hold. Flex the foot, point the toes forward. The leg swings forward and pulls back. Forward and pull back. Use that top hand to steady you. Using the glute and hamstring to pull the leg back in line with the body. See if you can keep that leg parallel to the ground the whole time. The core is helping stabilize so those hips don't rock forward and fall over. Last one, pull that leg back, point through the toes, draw a small circle forward, down, and around. Again, keeping those hips as still as you can. And reverse, we go back, down, and around. The last one, to lower that top leg down, keeping those legs together, pull the knees up towards the chest, feet stay together as we open and close that clamshell. Just that top knee opening away from the bottom knee. Feet staying together. Should feel that glute medius working. For two. Last one, close your clamshell. Those legs are tired, so let's roll over onto our stomach toward the back of the body. Now, if you have osteoporosis in the rib cage, you might want something underneath your ribs, a little bit of padding. You can feel free to grab that now if needed. We're gonna go all the way down onto your stomach, forehead into the mat. We're gonna reach those arms forward, pulling the shoulders down the back, legs are long, about hip distance apart. Let's keep the head down. We're just gonna lift the opposite arm and leg up and slowly lower. Exhale, opposite arm and leg lift and slowly lower. So again, I want you to think about reaching those limbs as far as you can, about lengthening instead of lifting. As you lengthen, those limbs will naturally lift up. Pull those ribs off the floor so that the core is engaged. Last set here. Now to get up from this position, we'll bring the hands back. Let's push ourselves over onto the side, and then we'll use that top arm to push us all the way up to a seated position. One more fun exercise here. We're gonna do a modified push-up. If you have osteoporosis of the wrist, you might wanna sit this one out. So let's get set up into a kneeling position. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Knees are together. One long line from shoulder to knee. We're gonna bend those elbows back towards the hips. Exhale to press up. So inhale, bend, and exhale, press. You want those ribs just to graze the ribs. And exhale. Two more. Last one here, all the way up. Carefully walk those knees in. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.